Hey guys, my name's Zone and welcome to my channel. This is my first review and I've decided to do it on Everspace. So here is an Everspace review. Enjoy. Everspace is a single player space shooter with roguelike elements and non-linear storytelling. Developed and published by Rockfish Games and released in 2017. You can get Everspace on PC, Mac, Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo Switch, although my personal preference, PC.
There was a dispute. I was standing in the way of their plans.
You play as Adam Roslin, who has no idea who he is or how he got to be where he is. He only understands that he is a pilot and that he is not real. Adam knows he is a clone, and as you progress deeper through space, you will unlock more of his story.
That's all I can remember. I must find some answers.
The story itself is rather interesting and clever, but not going to win any awards, and in true fashion, it all falls apart for our hero Adam. The complexity of the game's story being placed into a roguelike element game has to be commended and couldn't have been easily implemented. The main story is multi-layered. Just when you think you've reached the end, there's more that unfolds as you progress further and further and deeper into the system. A nice touch is Hive, your ship's AI, who will provide you with lore and more story as you progress through the game. He will also give you some cheat when you inevitably screw up.
A colonial warship. Unusual since we are in the demilitarized zone. Next time, best avoid conflict. You don't stand a chance.
As you travel the universe, the cutscenes open more of the story and the world starts to build out, hinting at more of Adam's story as you move further and further into the game, only being stopped by the many deaths along the way.
Adam Roslin. Quiet, reserved, awkward around the others.
During your travels, you will run into many different and colourful characters, some from Adam's past, some looking to assist you, and some looking to experiment on you. The encounters with NPCs are short mission chains, but they are paced so well to fit into the roguelike design. There are special benefits from completing these encounters, and I found myself selecting particularly dangerous areas of the maps to jump into just so I could run into them. My personal favourite encounter is Maurice, a French assassin android hired by corporations to assassinate people. I'm just going to leave that at that.
Take care of them is with blunt force. Here's an access key. Use it to expose the core and then destroy it.
Isn't that dangerous?
So let's talk about the ships. Being a space game, this is all about the ships you fly and how they handle. There are a total of 4 ships. You have the Interceptor, which is a medium class ship with good shields and hull points. The Sentinel, which is a medium fighter that has less armor than its medium counterpart, the Interceptor, but has harder hitting weapons and better shields. The 2 unlockable ships, the Scout, which is a light fighter having low hull hit points and a higher shield capacity, and the Gunship having no shield but a huge amount of hull armor. The ships provide a different playstyle depending on which you decide to pick. They all have their upsides and their downsides that can completely change the way you handle your next run through the system. It's up to you which way you'll go. Each ship comes with a weapon and gear loadout that can be changed once you've unlocked the perks. I'll cover a bit more on this later. The maps are randomly generated, providing each run with a different feel. On one map you might find heaps of resources covered in huge shipwrecks with a few outlaws to tackle, and the next, an asteroid filled with a black hole in the center and a massive lightning storm in space, filled with orca forces and outlaws. I truly love jumping into a new area and not knowing if I will survive the first few minutes or get absolutely smashed when I walk in. It has happened quite a lot. The scale of the map is impressive and I at no time felt bored. there was always something to see or do in the map, whether it be scrounging resources, fighting off forces, heaps to do. I found I was actually getting distracted by the graphics of the maps and the skyboxes themselves, turning off my HUD and panning the camera around just to look at my ship and try and get that perfect wallpaper picture that I can put on my PC. Absolutely beautiful.
You're very generous. I really don't know how to thank you.
You'll find a way, perhaps.
The combat of this game is amazing. It feels smooth to control, the flight mechanics are very intuitive. The dogfighting between ships is some of the best space combat that I've ever had. One thing that I will say about the combat in this game is you will pay for your mistakes. Space is a brutal place, and you better use your surroundings to your advantages. Enemies drop credits, equipment and resources that can be used to upgrade your ship or scrap it for resources. Those resources can be used to craft new weapons or equipment or ship modifications from found blueprints. The blueprints can be dropped by the ships you defeat. There are 3 difficulty settings: easy, normal and hard. The settings provide more or less credits depending on which difficulty you select, providing a risk versus reward. Credits are used to unlock and upgrade your ships in the perks menu and are carried over to your next life at your untimely death. There is a hardcore mode for those that are truly in love with punishing themselves. The setup tab is where you can customize your loadout, place enhancements on your ship and change the colors. I do wish there was more options for color selection and modifications that I could really make the ship my own. I've really loved that personalization option, and I really hope for Everspace 2 that they do this. From increasing your ship's whole hit points to upgrading your energy core or increasing the drop chance of resources and credits. These are all controlled from the perks menu. After you have met your demise on a run, you can upgrade here to get the edge for your next run. The stats page shows your current mission and encounters, the challenges you are currently doing, such as shooting floodlights off a giant space drill, and all the other usual game statsy stuff. The codex, while moderately sized, provides heaps of interesting lore and background story for you to read through, providing a deeper look into the factions, characters, places, corporations, and flashbacks that Adam has. I am truly interested in the universe Rockfish has created here and enjoyed reading more about it. I can't wait for more in Everspace 2. While flying around space, by hitting the tab key you are able to repair and upgrade your ship while in and out of combat. As you travel through the sector, the game gets larger with multiple routes and varying difficulties. With upgrading the map, you can see which system has a service station, traders or hazards, really diving down into the risk versus reward as mentioned earlier. Traveling from system to system is as simple as lining up your cursor to the gate and away you go. To progress to another sector, you need to find the jump gate at the end of your current sector. Getting there in one piece is the hard part. A beautiful addition is if you spend too much time in a map, the enemy forces warp into the system and get progressively more hostile if you hang around. This provides a real feeling of tension and pressure to move on before I get overwhelmed by enemy forces. There are traders and service stations in some of the systems that you can trade your earned resources and credits with. You might even get lucky enough to find someone selling an access card. These access cards will give you unlockable special crates and doors found in some maps. Inside them are some of the best weapons enhancements and modifications you can find. You can also get the access keys from defeating elite enemies. As you can see, the game seems simple at the core, but complex the deeper we dig. Each run sees you getting stronger the further you get into the sectors, leading to finding out what is going on with Adam and the universe of Everspace. The graphics and sound, oh my god, what a beautiful game. Just look at this. It's ridiculous. Using the Unreal Engine, Rockfish has created a beautiful universe with the right amount of shading and colour mix. I found myself stopping from time to time, turning off my HUD and changing the view to third person and taking ship selfies, chasing that perfect wallpaper for my computer. The performance of the game with the engine runs smooth with no frame drop during my playthroughs. A big well done to Rockfish for the optimization there. The sound for me is brilliant. From explosions to firing of weapons, the sounds are clear and on point. The downside for me was the music. Most tracks are solid and well implemented, but I was getting rock music when I was mining crystals. I'm not complaining, it's just an interesting choice for a simple mundane task. In saying that though, when you do get into battle and that music kicks in and that track just starts hitting up, it really gets you pumped. The voice acting for the most part is good quality. It's not going to win any major awards, but I have to say it was pretty good.
What the hell was that? The core just exploded.
The odds of that occurring directly upon your arrival are too slim to consider it a coincidence.
So Carly really did set me up. Open a channel to her.
The game itself has been an absolute blast to play, with a simplistic design but a complex core. It's a beautiful design roguelike shooter in space that keeps testing and pushing you to reach the end. I have spent tens of hours in this game and I will spend tens of hours more. Rockfish has set the bar high for themselves in upcoming releases, and I look forward to seeing what they bring to the table with Everspace 2. I look forward to seeing your comments below on this review. Have you played the game itself? I absolutely loved playing Everspace. I loved reviewing it. I actually really enjoyed creating this. This is my first ever review. So please, any comments, hints, tips, anything you want to give me, please let me know and I'll try and add it to the next review that I do. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing and I'll see you in the next one.